What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Monday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. We only have 5 games on this main slate tonight. Not too much injury news we got to wait on. We'll get into that in a second, though. As usual, I'm going to give you guys 5 plays, one for each position, and hopefully we can start off the week really well. We did pretty well in NBA on Sunday. Yesterday, the hybrid and cash teams ended up cashing fairly easily. Let's try to get on a nice run here. Let's try to sweep the board and maybe have a nice ROI night as we've had in the past in November. So for point guard, I'm going to look at Kade Cunningham. This is a great matchup. I mean, it's a 236 over-under. You got 2 pretty bad defenses in this game, the Pistons and Wizards. It's only a 2-point spread, so a blowout is not really an issue here. Kade Cunningham, obviously the number 1 guy on the Pistons. He's been playing pretty well as of late, really just the last 2 games, honestly, but 38 and 37 minutes in those last 2 games, so he's playing a ton. This is a great matchup against the Wizards. I don't think they've played each other yet this year, but there should be a ton of points in this game. He's projected for like 42 fantasy points. So I like Kade Cunningham here. He's not a must-play at 8,000. His price has gone up a little bit, but I do not mind this play with this matchup against the Wizards. Second play, we're going to stick with the Pistons here. Jaden Ivey, a new starter for the Pistons. He had been coming off the bench. He started the last 3 games, and he has been playing well in those starts. He's averaging around 29 to 30 minutes a game. 3 of those last 5 starts, he's gotten over 20 fantasy points. He's projected for around 27 tonight. He got 35 last game. At 5,200, he needs just 26 fantasy points. Again, like Kade Cunningham, this is a great matchup. A 236 over-under should stay close. This looks like a really good play. I'd be, pretty surprised if he doesn't start again. And it's really nice to see that he saw the most minutes of the season last game against the Pacers. He saw 32 minutes. So if he starts again tonight like he should, we can project him for 30-plus minutes with a great matchup. So this is a good play. 5,200, he's gone up a little bit, but it's still not a high enough price for me to get off of him. Small forward, we're going to go with another very similar play to Jaden Ivey, and that's on the Pacers' Buddy Hield. 5,300, basically the same price, and he has gone through the same exact kind of season that Jaden Ivey has. Buddy Hield was coming off the bench for the Pacers. He just recently began starting over Benedict Mathurin over like the last few games. So kind of literally the same exact thing as Jaden Ivey. Was a bench guy. Now he's starting. He's the same price as Ivey. Actually, he's $100 more, but 5,300. He's been playing well in his starts. The last 3 games he has started, he has averaged around 32 minutes in those 3 games. He needs 26 fantasy points to hit value. Fell a little short last game. But his price was cheaper last game, so he almost basically hit value at 23. Had that huge 49-point game against the Raptors. This is a good matchup here. 240 over-under Pacers Blazers. The spread right now is at 12, and I think it's too high. It opened up this morning at 13, and it's gone all the way down to 12. I'd be surprised if it doesn't go down another point to like 11 or 10.5, because the Blazers are bad, but the Pacers aren't that good, honestly. And the Blazers got Malcolm Brogdon back recently, which is a huge deal. They still have Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton. I think this game stays closer than what Vegas is saying. Not that I like betting on the Blazers, but if this line stays at 12 points, I kind of like the Blazers at plus 12. I think it's too many points. I don't think the Pacers are that good. They're going to win for sure, but I don't think it's obviously a blowout could happen, but I don't think it's a big of a risk as, some people might think in this game. 240 points is, obviously a huge over-under. The Pacers are going to be involved in a lot of high over-unders this year. This is another great game. Definitely one of the better ones. We have really...
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted.
No, none of that. But all 5 games tonight are pretty high over-unders, other than the Clippers and Nuggets. We got a 230 in Utah. We have a 230 in Philly. We have a 240 in Indy, and then the 236 in Detroit. So 4 out of the 5 games are going to be high scoring tonight. I like Buddy Hield at 5,300. He should get there in a starter's role. Power forward, the 2 questionable guys that are huge tonight are LeBron James and Nikola Jokic. James has been playing as a questionable guy, so we can assume he's playing tonight. It's not a back-to-back. Jokic is more of a concern. It's a 10:30 game. You're not going to have anyone to late swap to, considering the next closest game is that 9 o'clock game. So we're probably not going to know the news, and this is a legitimate questionable tag in my opinion. He played last night, a back-to-back, so there's a good chance they rest him. We're going to have to, play Reggie Jackson, Michael Porter, knowing that Aaron Gordon is already out, and then if Jokic is out, it's kind of a bonus. So we're probably not going to know that news. The other questionable guy is Jordan Poole, who had that unbelievable late scratch on Saturday. I was out at a golf simulator, and I had already set my lineups, and then it was like 7:07 Eastern. The game was at 7, and Jordan Poole was ruled out with no questionable tag. And obviously, we did not win on Saturday. He was high owned, but it didn't matter. I had him on every team. But he was present at shoot-around today. Good chance he plays. It's the first game of the slate tonight, so we're going to know that news before lock. So we don't have to worry too much about Jordan Poole. We just got to keep our eyes peeled on injury news up until lock. I think LeBron plays, and then it's Jokic we're really going to have no idea about. Power forward, Zion Williamson. He had a rest game last game, so he's going to be playing tonight. 8,100 is always too cheap on FanDuel. They are, neglecting to raise his price on FanDuel. He's been higher on DraftKings, like 8,300, 8,500 on DraftKings. This is a great matchup. We have a good amount of good games tonight, even though it's a small game slate. We have some good matchups. Pelicans are 6-point favorites, 230 in Utah. Not worried about a blowout here. Love Zion. Needs 40 fantasy points to hit value. He's done that. Give or take a point or two. He's basically done that in his last 5 games. So I feel pretty good. He's going to be playing, low to mid 30s in minutes, coming off of a rest game. I really like Zion, one of my favorite plays and one of my favorite spend-ups on the slate. Last play, I like Jaylen Durham. He'd been hurt with an ankle injury, came back last game, played 28 minutes. So the fact that he missed, over a week and still played 28 minutes, it shows that his ankle's feeling pretty good. And they haven't played since the 24th, so he had 2 rest days in between. I think he's going to be good to go tonight. And if you remember Jaylen Durham at the beginning of the season, he was an absolute stud. 48, 43, 56. He started off the year really well. Got 38.5 in his first game back. He's just not priced correctly. 6,700 is a cheap price. Great matchup against the Wizards. There's a lot to like about the Pistons tonight, which is why I have 3 of them in my video here today. I think Jaylen Durham gets low 30s in fantasy points to easily hit his value tonight, as long as there's no note coming out that he's either questionable or going to be on a minutes limit. He looks pretty good tonight. If he starts, we can assume he's going to play at least 28 minutes, if not more, in his second game back. That'll do it for this video, guys. Give it a like. Let's have a big main slate tonight. And let's get after Monday Night Football as well. We've been really good on the single game slates this year. Pretty decent matchup here. Vikings and Bears are both, pretty bad, so it makes for a good DFS game. But let's cash everywhere tonight. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.